This is part 29 of our 100% walkthrough for Oracle of Ages. And this part, we start off by playing the Big Bang game, where we get the Mermaid Key, and then we'll switch out the Lava Juice for the letter of introduction, which will allow us to meet the Graceful Goron. And from him, which I believe might be another dancing game, we get the Mermaid Key, and then we end this part by finally entering the next dungeon, the 6th dungeon in the game, Mermaids Cave.
It's about time, because you brought up like this felt like
Agreed.
the island from Lost earlier, because we never know what's going on in the outside world. I feel like it's the island of Lost because we are still stuck here. We have been here forever, and I just want to get off this darn mountain.
I agree with you. I just want to get out of this room and quit talking about it, to be honest with you. I mean,
although I will say we've bashed a lot of the mini games that we've had in this area. I was actually a big fan of the Big Bang game. Like dodging all those bombs, it could actually be really tough. It was easy to fail, but I thought it was the most fun mini game on the Rolling Ridge.
You kind of saw what I did there. There's a couple different strategies. I think if you actually stay on the ground, it's incredibly difficult to do with all the rocks, I believe, that were in the middle. So I find it easiest to equip the Pegasus seeds and the Rock's Feather and kind of just go fast and jump around. Now, you can easily land on a bomb. Like you said, it's very easy to fail this game, but I found that to be the best strategy. If you stay on the ground and move at a normal pace, you're probably going to fail that quite a few times.
Exactly. Like the Pegasus seeds was a great idea. It's just, and a lot of it is random dumb luck. You know, like I said, you just got to be careful you don't land on one of the bombs, especially with those Pegasus seeds when you go so fast and you can't stop your character. So, but I thought, you nailed it. So, and it was just more enjoyable than the rest of the mini games, I thought.
Oh, actually, I think we're switching to Lava Juice right here for the letter of introduction, which was kind of funny with this Goron right here, because I believe this is the one that he knows the Graceful Goron, and that's why we're getting this letter from him, but he doesn't want us to, know that he knows the Graceful Goron. If he, knows somebody that's powerful, kind of celebrity in a way, you would think you would want people to know that, hey, I know this guy right here, so
exactly.
What's this guy's end game right here? He's up to something. I don't know what it is, but he is up to something there.
He's a shady character. He's got some.
I don't like
he's got some ulterior motive. That's for sure. But it does crack me up. He's like, yeah, don't tell anyone that I know him. I'm like, man, if I know somebody famous, I'm telling everybody.
Exactly.
I'm putting that on Facebook.
Well, it's kind of like weird. I don't know why I need the. Actually, he had the Goron or the Graceful Goron, and now I just remember it is a dancer, which I think you confirmed at the very beginning of the video, but. So I guess we've actually only been able to do the dancing and maybe the is it the past or the present?
I think it was the present, because and this might be totally wrong, but I think I remember him saying that he was the 5th generation one, and the one we go and meet this time says he's the 1st generation. Well, I know so that means we're in the past.
Well, but see, we get the Mermaid Key. We get the Mermaid Key from him. I don't know. I'm not even trying to.
We get 2 Mermaid Keys, because we got the Old Mermaid Key, and then we're going to get the regular Mermaid Key. I don't freaking know.
Yeah, well, actually, I was not paying attention right there, but did we go back? Did we change time periods, or do we just go straight down to the dance hall? Because then if we did, I'm pretty sure it's in the past. Well, anyways, why we need a letter of introduction? Well, I guess it kind of makes sense. You could kind of go back to in Ocarina of Time where we try to go up Death Mountain, and we had to give that letter from Zelda to that guard. So it's kind of related to that.
And he does kind of say that he can't turn down a request from a brother. So now you're going to dance for the whatever Mermaid Key we're getting. I feel like we get 2 Mermaid Keys in this part.
We do. We get we actually got the Old Mermaid Key from the Big Bang game, and then we get the regular Mermaid Key from this guy right here.
I just don't get it.
Sorry. I'm sorry for disrespecting him. I call him that guy right there from the Graceful Goron.
There you go. You call him what he is. He's the Graceful Goron. And he's a heck of a lot more graceful than us. But I will say, this is only the 2nd time we actually managed to pass the dancing game.
How in the world is this guy more graceful than us? Have you seen his dance moves? He has a 1-2 step. There's only 2 parts to. Actually, I don't know if the 1-2 step is 1 or 2 parts or 3 or 4. But anyways,
Ciara, who wrote that song, would be able to tell you, but I could not tell you myself.
But all he has is 2 moves, so he's really not that graceful if you think about it. But you know what? That might be 2 moves that neither one of us can do, especially the holding it at the very end. So, because you've heard, they're not singing right now, but it kind of looks like they are singing, though, in a way.
Well, all I know is I'm not graceful in any way, shape, or form when it comes to dancing, and there is video proof of that.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm not going to bash the Graceful Goron.
If there's video proof of this, I need to see that, actually.
Let's just say alcohol was involved.
Okay. It usually is, isn't it?
Well, if I'm dancing, much alcohol is involved because that is not my normal go-to activity.
But, it is nice to get to, back to this dancing part where you don't actually have to beat all the stages is what I'm trying to say. We don't have to pass the whole thing. Like this one, we can fail at a couple times, and you actually saw that I actually had a really bad start. I believe I failed the first 2 phases of it, and then I pretty much dominated after that. But then right after we get done with this, we'll actually do the I'm not sure if it's gold or platinum, but we'll try to do the highest level again. And for the third time, we will fail again. Like we said, just to reiterate, you do get 3 rings from passing those 3 highest levels of dancing.
Yeah, and then we got the Mermaid Key this time, which will let us enter the next dungeon, which I believe is the Mermaid Cave?
Yeah, it's a unique dungeon. It's kind of cool. It's really the only dungeon in the game that uses the whole past and present aspect that really was all of Oracle of Ages. So I kind of wish they would have done more with the time period inside of the dungeon. So
Agreed.
It's kind of nice. It's not my favorite dungeon, but it's kind of nice that they put that in there.
Although I'm not sure. I get confused enough with the past and present when I'm just wandering around in the overworld, much less going into a dungeon.
That is true. Well, it really plays as 2 separate dungeons. Now, you do affect some of the past, or you do something in the past that does affect the present. So
yeah,
there's a kind of couple of puzzles like that are kind of confusing. But overall, I thought it was an okay dungeon.
It is, and we'll obviously spend a lot of time talking about it in the next 2 or 3 parts.
No, we're going to talk about Rolling Ridge when we get to the next couple of parts. We're going to miss it so much.
Yeah.
When we get to the next dungeon, we're going to be like, man, I wish we were back in Rolling Ridge playing all those games.
We have to go back.
Yeah, we have to go back, Kate.
Oh, my gosh. If we never come back to this area in the game, it will be too soon. That's all I know.
Here's the thing, and this is how I knew it was bad. I've kind of talked about this a little bit in our commentaries. There's a lot, every Zelda game I always just play to play, and if I get stuck, I'll look at a walkthrough, find out things here and there. But for the most part, I just, play through without looking at things. And sometimes, as we've been recording these games and doing this whole channel, I'll sit there, I'll play through a game again, I'll be like, you know what, now that I actually knew, because we're doing 100% walkthroughs for games usually.
So we actually have an idea what we're doing now.
When I know what I'm doing, sometimes the games aren't that bad. I'll be like, well, you know what, now that I can look at it differently, and I kind of didn't get frustrated with the game, it wasn't so bad. Oracle of Ages, still hated it just as much, and I still hated Rolling Ridge just as much. So that's how I knew it was bad, when I knew exactly what I was doing, and I still hated the experience.
Oh, I can only imagine. I've only played it once, and I'm pretty sure that's all I'm ever going to play.
Yeah.
I have Oracle of Seasons still to play, which you've told me you think is better.
It's a lot better.
I'm holding my breath for that. But if it's, I don't think any amount of replays would make this Rolling Ridge area any less frustrating than it is.
Now, that took a lot longer to get to that point that I needed to get to. I almost ran out of breath on that one. I'm not going to lie to you. But anyways, this will go ahead and wrap up part 29 of our 100% walkthrough for Oracle of Ages.